Saint Valentine was a 3rd century Roman priest or bishop martyred on February 14th. Legends abound about his life and martyrdom. One claim was he cut hearts from parchment and gave them to persecuted Christians. Another was he restored the sight of his jailer's daughter. Legends abound over the years. The Middle Ages meant Catholic Central, where the Pope, bishops, churches, and monks had real power, literally between heaven and hell. As in all cultures, ceremony increased over time. That included shrines to Saint Valentine and relics. The typical gruesome relics were bones of the saints. Valentine of Rome was buried on the Via Flaminia. During the Middle Ages, the skull of Valentine was crowned with flowers and exhibited at a Roman basilica. At least a couple more Valentines were martyred, and their bones became relics at other churches. February 14th started as the feast of St. Valentine, at least by the 8th century. It became associated with romantic love in the Middle Ages, expressing that love with flowers, candy, and later greeting cards. Just to confuse the issue, Cupid got associated with the holiday, ignoring Valentine's martyrdom. Apparently thinking of lovebirds, doves were added. Before the internet and social media, people could be contacted by mail. Therefore, add handmade cards, especially for love. It was later claimed that Valentine wrote the first Valentine card shortly before execution, addressed to the recipient of one of his magnificent miracles, signed, Your Valentine. The push to send Valentine cards probably happened independently in several places. Focusing on English traditions, Chaucer imagined a British king sending a Valentine's Day card to his future bride. That would be Richard II to Anne of Bohemia. Add Shakespeare in Hamlet with Ophelia sending Valentine greetings. The roses are red, violets are blue, likely started with Shakespeare contemporary Edmund Spenser. Valentine cards were popular in England even at the high rate and the hassle of mailing. The big collector event was the 1840 invention of postage stamps, called the penny black and two-penny blue, and introducing a cheap rate resulting in lots of Valentine's Day cards, some 400,000 sent out the next year. The U.S. was not far behind, issuing the first stamps in 1847, a 5-cent Ben Franklin and 10-cent George Washington. Once Valentine cards became popular in 19th century England, printers produced cards called mechanical valentines. After the postage stamp, one firm hired 3,000 women, called Cupid's Manufactory by Charles Dickens. The first U.S. produced valentines were in Massachusetts after the first U.S. stamps in 1847. The most well-known cards were the Victorian trade cards produced for valentines, pharmaceuticals, and other types of advertisements. It started in 1868 when British chocolatier Cadbury created fancy boxes which were red and shaped like a heart, filled with chocolates. The boxes were soon associated with Valentine's Day. From there, entrepreneurs pushed more chocolate stuff as well as jewelry and more for Valentine. Mass advertising followed. Churches added St. Valentine's services. Countries around the world added Valentine's Day as secular celebrations with their own versions of cards and gift giving. On the other hand, celebrations were banned in a number of Islamic countries.